Car Cost Canada provides the dealer cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. The link is in the description below. Welcome to Austria for the launch of the Porsche Cayenne Coupe. As many of you know, the Cayenne is one of my favorite vehicles, so they take the already capable Porsche Cayenne and turn it into a slightly sexier looking vehicle. It could be argued this looks like the bigger brother to the Porsche Macan. You have a wider track at the back, the body has been flared out over the rear wheels by 18 millimeters, the roof has been lowered by 20 millimeters, you get a different rake to the front and the rear window, giving the vehicle a look of more performance and attitude. Wheel sizes start at standard 20-inch wheels and go all the way up to 22-inch wheels, and that's what you see on the lightweight performance package in the Turbo. So that's enough about the outside. Let's get in and take it for a drive. Welcome to the interior of the Porsche Cayenne Coupe, or Coupe, depending on which part of the world you're in. And the first thing you notice right away is, bam, that big glass roof, which is standard equipment on every single model, whether it's Cayenne, Cayenne S, or the Turbo. It's over 2 square meters of glass. It doesn't open, however, it does have a shade if you like. So that really is a statement piece. And the reason why they've added that glass panel is because the roof is just a little bit lower than the typical Cayenne. So for the design of this product, they lowered the roof by 20 millimeters. They pushed the windshield back, and the rear window is at a different angle as well to give it that coupe-like look. But to compensate for the lower roof, they've lowered the back seat by 30 millimeters. So even though this has a sexy, sleek look to it, it doesn't really compromise anything in terms of comfort. Front seat passengers, it feels like the regular Cayenne. When you get in the back seat, you do notice that the windows are a little bit smaller, but you sit low in the car, you've got plenty of headroom, you've got plenty of legroom. The legroom is exactly the same as the regular Cayenne. It's just the roof is a little bit lower, and you notice that. The windows actually, compared to some of its direct competitors, are quite large, so not a big sacrifice in terms to get this sleek look. Also, you have a slightly smaller cargo area around the back in terms of height, but the length is the same. Now in the back seat, this is designed as a 2+2, so you get 2 seats in the front, 2 in the back, and the middle seat is basically a storage bin. However, at no charge, you can opt for a bench seat if you do need to take extra kids in the back seat, which is a nice option to have, because some cars that had this 2+2 configuration, if it wasn't available with a bench seat, it really limits the amount of people that can buy this product. Now, other German brands have this look. You have the BMW X6 and the Mercedes-Benz GLE Coupe, which look kind of similar to each other. And I think maybe one of the advantages Porsche has developing a product like this later than all of the competitors is they've looked at those and they've been able to see what they've done right and wrong. And I think that the design of this Cayenne Coupe is really quite cohesive. It could even be argued it looks like the bigger brother to the Porsche Macan. So it has the sleek silhouette, but it's still very functional, and the nicest look maybe the back. You notice that there's a spoiler on the roof that's fixed, and on the bottom part, there's an active aero spoiler that comes up at higher speeds to give you better aerodynamics. The other thing you'll notice, there's no rear windshield wiper, and on a wet day like this today in Austria, a rear wiper would be handy. Plus, visibility out the back is compromised in comparison to the regular Cayenne. So other than dropping the roof down and giving the front and rear windows a slightly different rake, is they've pushed the fenders out of the back by almost 20 millimeters to give the car a little bit more substance, especially from the back. So wider track, and the wheels are larger as well. Standard wheels are 20-inch wheels, which is nice, and they go all the way up to 22-inch wheels. Now, I mentioned at the beginning this beautiful big glass panel roof. You can get this car without it. However, you need to get the lightweight sport package. What that does is replace the glass panel with a fixed carbon fiber panel. It sheds 21 kilograms of weight. That's a considerable amount of weight. Also on that package, You get the larger 22-inch wheels. You also get extra features like a unique front spoiler, side skirts, and a rear diffuser around the back. So that's an optional package, and when you get that, you have to take the cloth interior with the houndstooth look, which is a tip of the hat to old Porsche designs. So a real kind of retro look. So they've kind of packaged it up to give you this open and airy look, or the much more assertive looking and sort of claustrophobic yet sporty feeling of that lightweight sport package. Mechanical features are the same between the Cayenne and the Cayenne Coupe. The base engine is 335 horsepower. The one I'm driving right now is the Cayenne S with 434 horsepower, and then the top one is the Turbo with 541 horsepower. The Turbo also adds standard air suspension. The air suspension is optional on the other cars, as is active rear steering and the Porsche dynamic chassis control. I have to say that my favorite is the Cayenne S. I did have a chance today to drive the Turbo, which is wonderful, but this engine, this 2.9 liter twin turbocharged 6-cylinder in the Cayenne S, it revs so freely. It's wonderful to drive. It doesn't sound like a 6-cylinder. It just does everything absolutely flawlessly, and if it was my choice, this is the one I would get. So who's this Cayenne Coupe for? This Cayenne Coupe is for somebody that obviously likes the Porsche brand, likes the utility that this vehicle provides, but wants a little bit more style and maybe wants to stand out. There are plenty of Cayennes on the road, but are there many Cayenne Coupes? Well, to have that privilege, it does cost more money. With other manufacturers having these coupe-like SUVs, you know it was only a matter of time until Porsche came to market. And this is a great product, whether it's the Cayenne or the Cayenne Coupe, and it's more expensive though. The base Cayenne Coupe is $86,000. You want the Cayenne S version around $101,000, and almost $150,000 for the Turbo that you see here, plus options. It's a prestige car with a prestige price tag, but if you want to be seen in the latest and the most fashionable, it will cost you. Car Cost Canada provides the dealer cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. The link is in the description below.